So several people have asked me how I make these GIFs here in my Introduction to Quantum Computing lecture notes. I thought it would be useful to just make a little video about how to get set up and make these GIFs. Now I'm using Windows 10, so if you're not using Windows 10, then you'll probably have to find a different approach unless some of these are cross-platform. I use free software. That's Blender. I'll put the link in the description, and an add-on which is called Bligify. I'll put a link to this, but it's just a GitHub repository, and you can click on the link to download the zip file. It's 5.7 megabytes, so it's quite quick. I won't show you the installation of Blender. You have to do that on your own. But once Blender is installed and you've downloaded Bligify, then what you need to do is open up Blender. You'll get this little welcome screen, and eventually you'll want to go to 2D animation, which will bring you to the canvas. The first time you do this, you're going to need to install that Bligify app. So you need to go to Edit, Preferences, Install. That's in the add-ons section. Find out where that is, Bligify install add-on, and click the little check mark to enable it. Now you can close that up. Everything's set up for you to start being able to draw. So I can do a drawing like that. It's giving me a vector pencil graphic. That's not how I like to do it. If you want to do it exactly the way that I do it, you need to change the pencil to pen. And I have my thickness usually set at 170 pixels. And you can change the color as well. And I actually need to do an animation. I need to make a circuit that copies bits. So I'm going to do that now. I have a bit, and it's going to come into some box, and I need it to give 2 copies of that bit at the output. So now I want this to be animated and built up as I drew it. To do that, you need to click up here in the upper left where it says Draw and go to Object Mode. The object is selected. Now you go to Object, Convert, Bezier Curve, and then on the right hand tool side you want to click on these build tools here. So now I'm in the build tools tab, and I add a build modifier, and now the animation's ready. I can click play. The defaults might not be what you're looking for, so the default is that it starts at 0, it goes for 100 frames, and the default for the whole animation is 220 frames. So if you want to change these things around, that if you want it to look like it's faster, you change this to fewer frames. So if I went 10 frames, it would build up quite quickly. Right at the beginning there, you probably missed it. If I wanted it to go slower, then I'd make it longer, 250 frames, for example. And if it's sitting too long at the end, then you can change at the bottom the length of your animation. So let's say 200. So I've now have an animation that lasts for 150 frames, and then the last 50 frames are just the static image of the thing that I drew at the end. Okay, so I want this to be animated. To do that, I click up here in the upper left, and I want to change the editor type to Video Sequencer. And you may or may not have a sidebar. If you don't have a sidebar, you have to click View, Sidebar, Tools, and there's Bligify right there. Click Render GIF, and put it somewhere. And there you go. A small GIF like that will take 30 seconds, and your GIF will be created. My gift to you.